I'll call the meeting to order. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our August 18, 2026 Select Board meeting. Member Bennett, could you please lead us in the pledge?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Member Bernard is unable to join us today. I will have the town clerk read the agenda items, please.
Approval of the minutes of July 14, 2026.
So moved.
Do we want to take them separately or together?
Yes, separately. I'll need a second.
Second?
Second. I'm sorry, you seconded, but are we doing it for the 14th or the 28th?
The 14th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any discussions? All those in favor say aye.
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 4-0. Approval of the minutes of July 28, 2026.
I move we accept.
Second.
Okay. Any discussions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
So that's 3,
301.
1 abstention.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I
Thank
was
you.
absent.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
New public business. Please limit comments to 3 minutes or fewer.
If there's any residents who have questions, comments, yes. If you want to just go to the microphone and introduce yourself.
Bill Bradstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. At our last Select Board meeting, there was a discussion about a fine being assessed on the non-compliance on the Elm Street project. And at the time, the amount quoted for the fine was $20, which was set on May 18th in 2015. That's 11 years ago. There's no notice of an inflation clause in that fine. My suggestion is that it should be at least $100. Is there a limit on what we can charge? Question. Don't expect an answer. And are we reliant on the state in their infinite wisdom to set the fines that we need to assess for violations that take place in Danvers? Again, I don't need an answer, but just tell me you're working on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're not supposed to answer.
Okay. So we'll look into that. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Kane, and I'm a resident of Perry Drive in Precinct 3. And I'm here because I was somewhat dismayed by the meeting that I went to at the library on the 28th of July regarding the reintroduction of the 465 bus. Up until that time, everything I had seen made it look like the bus was going to be reinstated to its somewhat previous stops and access and that sort of thing. Well, as it turns out, it is only going from Liberty Tree Mall to Danvers Square and back to Liberty Tree Mall. There is a loop going on that has no other bus stops on it. So I'm really disappointed because I was expecting to be able to get places once again. I was told by the MBTA people at that meeting on the 28th that the reason that there are no bus stops allotted along the new route and that there are still bus stops along the route going from down Endicott Street into Salem is because the ADA regulations for the bus stops have to be redone, that you can't just reinstate a bus stop. So I asked about the fact that the ADA regulations have not been changed any, and the stops along the route from Endicott Street into Salem are not compliant, basically. And I was told that, well, they are compliant because they've been being used in a amount of time that doesn't require them to be reinstated. So I am here, and I'm going to quote Bill Bradstreet, I don't expect an answer this evening, but I don't think we're done with what needs to be happening to make the bus, the 465, accessible for Danvers residents once again. I'm here to ask that the DPW or whoever needs to look into making those bus stops ADA accessible, do that. I know it's not something that's going to happen in the next few months, and I know it's something, but I'm hoping that it's something that may be able to be done by the time the what are they? I forget what they're calling it. By the time they make it a permanent route, because it seems awfully silly to me that I can't walk. Walking to Danvers Square is a difficulty for me from where I'm at. Before, I used to be able to get the bus from Danvers Square. I got off further up, but if I could get off at Walgreens, I could walk. If I could get off at the even McKinnon's or maybe Town Hall, it would be so much easier. And I'm sure that would be the case for many people in this town who were looking forward to having the bus back again. So I thank you. I appreciate your time. And I'm happy to actually put it out there that I would be happy to meet with anybody who I can meet with to talk to them about how we can make this happen. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for raising the concern. We took note of that. Anybody else? Here none? Okay. Madam Clerk?
The board will consider the appointment of Grace Leet to HRIC.
Madam Town Manager was here to speak to that.
Sure, yes. Representatives from HRIC are here to speak to it, so I introduce Karen Grisdorf.
Good evening, Select Board members, Town Manager Cahill and Clerk Ellsworth. Luis Velasquez, who is the Vice Chair of the HRIC, and I are returning to you this evening, and it's our pleasure to introduce Grace Leet, the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee's candidate for your appointment to the HRIC. Several of us on the committee have had a chance to get to know Grace and to learn about her background and desire to serve our town in this way, and she's familiar with our meeting process, having been in attendance. We are delighted at the possibility of Grace joining the committee because she represents both the best of Danvers throughout the last few decades, as well as the potential to continually build a community forward so that it is a place where each of us can not just live, but feel at home, and where all residents can thrive. The HRIC believes in the power of each person's story, and so now it is my joy to turn the podium over to Grace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Grace Benson-Leet, and it is an incredible honor to be standing before you today, not only as someone being appointed to a committee, but as a proud daughter of the town of Danvers. I attended Danvers Public Schools from 4th grade through high school, and I graduated from DHS in 2019. I'm incredibly proud to represent Danvers wherever my life and work takes me. When I think about why I'm here tonight, I keep coming back to one word: gratitude. Danvers gave me a foundation. This community, along with my amazing family, gave me teachers, friendships, opportunities, and experiences that have shaped who I am today. And so, for me, joining this committee is not another civic or professional opportunity. It is an opportunity to give back to a place that gave me so much. But my experience growing up here has also shaped the questions I continue to carry with me. From 4th grade through 12th grade, I never had an adult in school who looked like me or came from a family like mine, or represented the experiences that my family and I brought to the classroom. I don't share that tonight as a criticism of the people who poured into me. I share it because it helped me understand from a very young age how powerful representation, belonging, and visibility can be, especially for our young people. And that understanding has become the foundation of my now life's work. After graduating from Danvers High, I broke from the mold a little bit and went all the way to Northern California, where I studied sociology and child studies. There, I had the opportunity to work with Santa Clara County Health and Hospital Systems, conducting health equity research and evaluation for the second largest county in California. That experience taught me to fall in love with numbers, but more importantly, it taught me that numbers are never just numbers, and that behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community member that experiences deserve to be understood and represented. And while I was even across the country, I was still thinking about Danvers. For my college capstone, I interviewed principals from the 3 high schools in Danvers, DHS, Essex Tech, and St. John's Prep, alongside with student surveys to explore the relationship between investments in equity and student of color's sense of belonging. So when I left Danvers, I never really left it behind. After college, I came home to live with my parents and found my way into the Multicultural Affairs and Community Development Office at St. John's Prep, where I currently work. That experience made me fall deeply in love with serving young people and working in school settings. This most recent year, I had the incredible opportunity to gain my Master's of Education at Harvard Graduate School of Education, where I earned my Master's in Education Policy and Analysis and a concentration in Identity, Power, and Justice in Education. During that time, I worked alongside public school systems such as Boston Public Schools, Somerville Public Schools, and Beverly Public Schools, learning from educators, families, and students who are working every day to make schools more equitable and more inclusive for all students. Across all these experiences, I've come to understand myself as something very simple, a practitioner of love. I believe love is not passive. Love is an action, love is showing up, and it is listening. It is telling young people that they matter. It is creating opportunities that may have not been there before. It is having the courage to imagine a community that is more than just the one we inherited. As I return to Danvers and begin this next chapter of my life, I want my education to be returned to the community that helped make it possible. I want to bring my research, I want to bring my experiences, I want to bring my passion for young people, especially young people of color, who deserve to see themselves reflected, valued, and fully included in the communities that they are lucky enough to call home. Above all, I want to bring love and hope. I hope that through this committee, I can build a Danvers where young people don't have to leave town to find someone who looks like them, believes in them, or reflects what is possible for their life. I want to be proud of the Danvers that my family and I represent here in Massachusetts and now with my little brother internationally. And I hope that my service on this committee can be one small way of making sure that the next generation of Danvers young people can look around their community and know I belong here, I'm represented here, and I'm needed here. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to come home and serve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will pass it on to the board members for any questions, comments. Member Bean?
It's nice to meet you. Impressive resume. The fact that you just want to help people, it's good enough for me. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Trask?
I also read your resume and your qualifications, and am very impressed and thankful that you're willing to support our community. Thank you.
Member Bennett?
Thank you. Grace, welcome. It is your community, and I'm sure you'll be a great role model for anybody you interact with on the committee or in our community, and thank you for stepping up to help us serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I mean, what can I say? I've known Grace for a while. She graduated with my son from DHS, and all I can say is thank you. We are fortunate to have you represent us. As I say to most committee members, you stop representing yourself, but you're representing this town. And we could not have been luckier and prouder to have you serve. So I will entertain a motion.
I move we accept the application as presented.
Second.
Any further discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations. And
Thank
thank you.
If we could steal one more minute for another representative from the HRIC to talk about the upcoming event.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Grace. Congratulations. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Select Board. Luis Velasquez, Vice Chair of the HRC. And our first event of the year is scheduled for October the 8th at the library. So save the date, please, for Celebración, October the 8th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we'll come back with more details. Thank you very much, and thank you again for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. October 8th. Did you say at the library?
Yes, the library.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
The board will meet Town Accountant Connor McCorkle and consider his appointment to the position.
Okay, Member Bennett,
Yes,
will you take the lead on this for me, please?
thank you. We are pleased to recommend Connor McCorkle for appointment to the positions of Town Accountant. Connor brings over 10 years of experience in healthcare and municipal finance and currently serves as the Chief Financial Officer / Treasurer and Collector for Gloucester. He has extensive experience with munis, budgeting, payroll, accounts payable, revenue management, reporting, implementing auditor, recommended changes, workflow modernization, and automating AP functions. His background and approach align strongly with the town's ongoing modernization efforts and expanded use of Munis functionality. We believe Connor is well prepared to support the continued advancement of the Finance Department and the town's long-term goals. Thank you for giving Dee and I the opportunity to represent the Select Board through this process. Respectfully request your support of Connor's appointment. Would you like me to read
Please.
the process?
Sure.
Thank you. So the overview of the process, we had a total of 22 applicants that applied for the position. The first round interviews, there were 5 candidates completed the first round interviews, a 6th withdrew. Interviews occurred between July 14 and 20. The first round interview panel were Dan Bauer, Superintendent Danvers Public Schools, Angela Medina, DPW Business Manager, Ron Lee Conley, Finance and Administrative Director, and Philip Hobley, Human Resource Director. A second round of interviews, there were 2 candidates that advanced to the second round, held on July 23rd. The interview panel was Dee DeJoco, Chair of the Select Board, myself as a member of the Select Board, Rodney Conley, Finance and Administrative Director, and our Human Resource Director. And we recommend Connor for your consideration.
Thank you very much. I will give the opportunity to Connor to introduce himself and ask the board members if they have any questions or comments.
Sure. So thanks for having me tonight. My name is Connor McCorkle. As it was mentioned, I've been in the municipal finance space for about 3.5 years, most recently as the Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer Collector for the City of Gloucester. So in that role, I oversaw the Assessors Department, the Treasurer Collector, payroll, and purchasing. Before my municipal work, I was in the healthcare space for about 10 years. I worked for Mass General Brigham in Boston, and I was the Business and Finance Director for Community Health and Health Equity, so supporting the finance operations at the 13 hospitals in that network. This job description was really appealing to me because I think it really highlights a lot of the parts of municipal finance that I enjoy the most, a lot of systems work, ledger work, and systems optimization.
Thank you very much. Board members, any questions, comments? Member Trask?
No, I've read the resume. I looked at the process and trust the people who participated in the selection, and I have nothing to add to that. And I thank you for the application.
Thank you. Member Bean?
Just a couple. It's nice to meet you. Good to see you. So from Gloucester, huh?
Yes.
Do you know our town manager?
I have met her once before, yes.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to be getting over the bridge after this. That's 2 now. No more fish plates up there. No, your resume looks great. There's a lot of stuff I don't even know what you're talking about, but it looks like you know what you do. So I'm glad you do. So what was it that why'd you want to come to Danvers? Are we paying better? Is it just that simple?
No, it's the work. This particular role, it really highlights the parts of the work that I enjoy the most, and I think I can make the most impact.
Good. All right. Well, looking forward to seeing you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Bennett, do you have
Well,
any
welcome
other
again, Connor. It was great to interview you and hear what you had to say. The questions you asked were very impressive.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad you're here.
And I will second Member Bennett on that. I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the recommendation of the subcommittee and offer the position to Connor.
I need a second.
Oh, second.
Any further discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Let's forward. Are Madam Clerk?
The board will vote to accept a gift of life vac equipment from the Danvers Rotary to the town in accordance with MGL Chapter 44, Section 53A.
Madam Town Manager?
Yes, I'm going to introduce our police chief, Jamie Lovell, and Neil Waldman from Danvers Rotary.
Neil Waldman, representing Danvers Rotary Club, and we're very pleased to give life-saving systems to the town, particularly the police department.
Thank you very much. Chief?
As mentioned in the memo I sent to the board last week, so we're requesting permission to receive these 10 life vac airway clearance devices from the Rotary Club at a value of about $1,000. These life vac portable devices are non-powered airway clearance devices intended to assist in the removal of foreign objects from the airway of a choking victim when standard first aid measures are unsuccessful. These devices will provide Danvers officers with another tool and response option when confronted with life-threatening choking emergencies. They're intended to supplement rather than replace established first aid protocols, but we think it will be beneficial to the community, and we'll be doing training with our officers if accepted.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments, board member? Member Bennett?
Thank you. Chief, where will these be kept?
There are 9 frontline cruises, so they'll be in the frontline cruises, and I believe hopefully one in the booking room as well.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to Rotary.
Member Bean?
Just thank you. You're literally going to be saving lives. So thank you for that gift. That's really wonderful. Thank you very much.
Member Trask?
I have nothing to add other than thanks for the kind donation.
And I would say the same, thank you, thank you. This definitely will be saving lives, so thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we vote to accept a gift of life vac equipment from Danvers Rotary to the town in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Paragraph 53A, with the appropriate letter to be sent to Rotary, thanking them.
Second the motion.
Okay, any further discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
4-0.
Got it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Schedule time to drop them off.
Madam Clerk?
Thank you.
The police chief will report on liquor compliance violations.
Good evening. Monday, July 27th, Danvers Police Department conducted routine alcohol compliance checks at local licensed establishments in Danvers. The goal is to promote responsible alcohol service in compliance with Mass General laws. During the operation, 4 establishments failed to verify the identification of the 18-year-old participant and sold or provided them with an alcoholic beverage at the establishment. The 4 establishments were identified as J&J Asian Cuisine, Cappy's Liquors, Torito's Mexican Restaurant, and the 466 Pub and Grill.
This is my least favorite part of the meetings. Board members, any questions, comments? Member Bean?
Chief, did everything go okay with these locations? There was no pushback or anything?
No, they were all compliant when addressed by the officers. Again, we send a 2-officer team out with an underage person. Everyone was cooperative and there were no issues.
Do we get a grant for this, or is this just part of our
We do it part of our routine. We do it, try to do it at least twice a year.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Member Trask?
I appreciate the compliance checks. I think it's an important tool for the community. I always bristle when people call it a sting operation. It's not. We're making sure that the people we entrust with the liquor licenses are complying and keeping the roadways and the citizens of Danvers safe. So I appreciate it, and we'll talk about the 4 that you've discovered in a moment, I'm sure.
Thank you. Member Bennett?
Chief, are you aware of any previous violations with these?
Yes, so as noted in the memo, both Cappy's and J&J Cuisine had violations within a year of the date of this operation. Both had pending one-day suspensions held in abeyance during that period of time. Then also 466 Pub and Grill. Nothing we could find as far as any recent activity with them. We went back, I think Kath and I went back to almost 2002. Nothing has really popped up on them. Torito's had a couple of incidents in the past 3 years.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's it for now.
Okay, thank you. So, suppose we will want to bring them in.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we bring all 4 of the people listed in this, J&J Asian Cuisine, Cappy's Liquors, Torito Mexican Restaurant, and 466, back for a discussion with the board about license revocation, suspension, or any other action thereon. And if the agenda permits it, September 3rd.
Okay.
That's the first motion.
So,
If I may, Gardner, I won't be
you want
available.
to second the motion first?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Caveat, on the date, I won't be here the 3rd.
I'll move it to the second meeting in September then, if the agenda permits.
I would prefer the first meeting in October 6th.
Okay, I'm fine with that, too.
There's a
October
possibility
6th.
that September 15th.
October 6th, then.
I'll second your amendment.
Change.
Okay, and that will give ample time to the clerk to notify the respective businesses. Is
Yes,
that-
I will take care of that. Thank
Okay.
you.
I have another motion, Mr. Chairman. Oh, once you took a vote on this one, sorry.
So, any further discussion on that motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we direct the clerk to suspend the liquor license of Cappy's Liquor and J&J Asian Cuisine on Saturday, August 29th. The liquor license to be remanded to the clerk or to the chief to be picked up again on Sunday. In the past, these are 2 that went by with only 1 day held in abeyance. In the past, we had a practice of 3 days. There is no appeal for this. This was their opportunity for appeal passed. And I'm specifically choosing a Saturday, not Labor Day weekend. It's away from that. But I want specifically a Saturday as a measure of understanding of of how important this is.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. So I got a second motion, and that's being seconded. Any discussions?
If I might ask, just for clarity of my motion, for the clerk, I only mention that because I know on New Year's Eve, the police chief the police gives it back. If we suspend it on a Saturday, can they pick it up Sunday at the police station? Or do they have to physically turn it in?
They would be required to physically turn it in, and we generally use the police department because they're open 24 hours.
Okay, I
So
didn't
they
wanna-
would turn it into the police department and then be able to pick it up.
Okay, then that was, I think, part of my original motion, so thank you.
Your date is August
August
22nd?
29 is.
I'm sorry,
29th.
August 29th, Saturday, August 29th.
So my question is, if we're bringing them in on October 6th, why not wait for the meeting of October 6th and then decide what we want to do?
Because that's a separate incident. That's distinct and separate from what they did last year. And last year we had them in. Last year we had a hearing. Last year we decided that they were at fault. And in the wisdom of the vote, we said 1 day held in abeyance. This is exactly, if we bring them in and they, for whatever reason, come up with some reason, I don't think we should be giving them more chances. This is a serious issue, and they should pay the penalty that they have already been found in violation of and told would happen if they had an occurrence within a year.
I totally agree. Yes.
No, I'm just going to say that they're 2 separate incidents. In the first one, it's a suspended license and abeyance for 1 year. They have an infraction. They should serve the 1 day. And then we'll hear them on October on the second charge, and we'll determine what to do with that. But we can't, if we hold it over, then we have to do it concurrent. And I think he should serve the 1 day.
Which is fine. I think doing it concurrent is not a problem. I mean, they could still serve the 1 day after we hear from.
But
The
Mr.
1 day is done. I mean, we have it already in the books that they will be serving a one-day suspension. So we can make a decision on the 6th what that day is and then what happens. Because
And again, I
it's-
disagree, Mr. Chairman, because two separate incidents, and any action from us on the 6th is open to appeal to the ABCC. This is not. I do not want them tied together. I want them to remain distinct and separate with no overlap. If we on the 6th determine 1 day, 3 day, whatever we decide, they have their rights to appeal to the ABCC. I do not want this commingled.
Okay. Give me some historical context here.
There is very little historic context that anyone serving alcohol in our town has a violation twice in a year. It's unusual. I can't, you looked at records back to 2002
For certain things,
for certain things. My memory goes back beyond that. I think Pub 64 was in there earlier, but that's beside the point. But we have no precedent with this happening. And if we don't make them serve the 1 day, in the future, we may have people that argue, well, you didn't make them serve. And when we discuss these folks and the suspensions, I'm going to look at our rules. I'm interested in making them held in abeyance for 2 years going forwards.
That's a different.
That's a different subject, but just right now, it's held in abeyance 1 year. They violated it. They should serve the 1 day.
Put it in the context of a crime. Someone performed a crime, got probation. They've broken probation. They now have to pay the penalty of that crime. They broke the probation. We gave them held in abeyance. We were kind in not taking their license then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but if you break your probation, you go back to the probation officer or the judge.
If you break
before
probation, you go.
I don't know.
Well, that's
Chief,
us.
Chief, just help me out here. Has this happened before? And usually, when people have a suspension held in the ban, if there's another violation, does that suspension automatically kicks in, or do they have to come before the board? I'm not saying we should waive it. I just want to make it clear.
So I don't think we've ever had the situation, at least during my tenure. I do somewhat agree that if that was the will of the board on August 12th and December 16th, that was 1 year from that date, a violation's a violation, and that was the penalty was known. You know, I don't see an issue with going forward with the date of the
29th.
29th.
If that's what the board decides. And then I do agree that these incidents are a separate incident from the first one. And it could cloud things having them at the same time, so I don't think it hurts to move forward.
Mr. Chairman, this has happened once in our experience as select board members for Mr. Bennett and myself. There was one other applicant who had a violation, and they had to serve the term when a second occurrence happened within a year. It's not uncommon for us, and I don't think we should be, that was the vote of the board then. The vote of the board then was within a year, they have to serve 1 day. And I think we stick with that.
Thank you. Member Beans, any questions, comments
I agree
about
with
the motion?
I agree with the other board members.
Okay.
Yeah, we should just give it to them.
So we have a date of 8/29. Do you have that, Madam Clerk, the motion?
And does that give you enough time for any particular legal notice you have to give them?
I would send out a notice, return receipt, certified
Okay.
mail.
I didn't know if there's a window of time. Does that meet your window of time?
Well, today is
Today's the
18.
18.
19.
And we're
11
talking,
days.
I mean, that would
That's-
give them 10 days' notice if I got it out tomorrow, 7, 8, 9, 10 days' notice.
is that
You're okay with that?
Is that the
It's not my decision to make.
No. It's not impactful to your ability to act as the clerk.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I can get the letter out, and then the police department. So at what time so you want that on the 29th?
From the start of the day to the end of the day.
Okay.
So 11:19, midnight to 11:59 p.m.
Sure. Whatever. Yep.
That-
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion. That motion has been seconded. Any further discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4-0.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask for a brief recess?
Sure.
Thank you.
We take a 5-minute recess. Thank you all for your patience and welcome back. Madam Clerk, we will go to the next item on the agenda.
The board will hear from Land Use Community Service Director Aaron Henry regarding Preston Street as it relates to traffic rules and orders. The board will allow public comment.
Chief stuff. Good evening. Sorry. Little emergency health care here.
Thanks. Yeah.
I know, thank you for having me tonight, Aaron Henry, the Director of Land Use and Community Services, here in the capacity of Chair of the Traffic Advisory Commission to talk about a proposed amendment to the Select Board's traffic rules and orders. There was a memo in your packet. I won't go through all of that memo, but for the folks in the audience, I'll just highlight a few points, and then I'd be happy to take any questions. And I know there's some folks from the neighborhood present who might also wish to speak to this item. So just wanted to discuss, first and foremost, we do have a few other amendments that we'll be looking for, but not tonight. But just heads up that in the fall, we'll be coming back with some other changes to the traffic rules and orders. But given the time sensitivity around this issue, we wanted to try to get on a summer agenda to make sure we could get this one done. We are recommending a action for Preston Street related to a time-regulated traffic movement. Specifically, we are looking to prohibit westbound travel along Preston Street between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., and this is be after the intersection with Hazen. So basically, if you were to come off of Maple Street, take a right onto Hazen, go up to the top and take a left onto Preston. We were going to prohibit that movement there. That's the request. We do have some data to support, and we've had at least 60 days, if not closer to 90, conversation with the neighborhood. But we did do some data gathering on the street just to kind of verify that what we were seeing and what we're being told were real. I'd be happy to present that summary to the board if it wishes to see this. But basically what this information shows is that the AM peak hour is between 7 and AM. If you add the 8 o'clock hour to that, 25% of the traffic on Preston Street over a given day occurs in that 2-hour window. Basically, the allegation, and we think this is true, is basically it's the students on their way to Essex Tech trying to cut traffic off of Maple Street, so they jump over to the parallel road, Preston, and use Preston to get up to school a little bit faster. We also see the speeds on that street go up in that 2-hour window. And again, those are, roughly speaking, the highest speeds you'll see on that street are happening in that 2-hour window. There is a little bit of a bump in the PM, but both the neighborhood and the town didn't push too hard for an afternoon restriction. It did not seem necessary at this time. So again, we're just limiting this request at the present time to those 2 hours in the AM peak period. And I'd be happy to share that with the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on from there, also want to let you know that because this sort of a change affects everybody in the neighborhood and not just the target population that we're trying to regulate. So we also reached out to the neighborhood and did a postcard of everybody on Hazen, Old Stone Wall, and Preston Street. That included the condos at the very end of Preston, or the bottom end of Preston that abuts Route 1. They've had a lot of issues there with people cutting through the condominium to get to Preston faster rather than using the ramps that take you around Sapinos to continue that, or around the police barracks to get westbound there. As of this afternoon, our mailing was 108, I think is what it was something like that, a little over 100. As of this afternoon, we've had 20 responses, 15 yeses, 1 no, and 4 maybes, and most of the maybes were looking for exemptions that we unfortunately can't grant, such as please let school buses through. Please let me, the resident, through. We made it clear in the survey that this is a all-encompassing traffic prohibition during those 2 hours. And we wanted to make sure that everybody understood that. And again, so I would say, generally speaking, the results from the survey, overwhelmingly supportive. The condo association, I want to say there was probably about 60 units in that development. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But the association did reach out to us and say the condo board there supported this as well. So again, it's not unanimous, but it is overwhelmingly supportive. Finally, wanted to share on the second page of the memo is the actual red line change to the traffic rules and orders that we're proposing. I did get some feedback from your chair that the language around during the school year felt a little vague. That is language that we used probably decades ago around the Holton-Richmond School. If the board wants something more specific than during the school year, again, you might not know on August 24th that school's in session. I would suggest amending that to August 15th through June 30th. That language is the language we used for the residential parking program that we instituted up there in 2023. So at least it's consistent with the dates that we already use in that neighborhood. But again, the original language was language that we've used successfully around Holton-Richmond. So that's why that language is what it is. But if the board were to choose the August 15th to June 30, we have no issue with that. So I think that's it, and I'd be happy to take any questions if there are any.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Aaron, for the presentation and the information. Board members, any questions, comments, member to ask?
No, I read the proposal, and if the residents are in favor of it, understanding it's going to impact them a little bit, and I presume, and thank you for pointing out where all the postcards went, I'm presuming because this is cut off a little bit, all the 320 was all the units at 320 Newbury.
Yes.
Okay, because I've got a bunch of 320 Newberries, but nobody doesn't delineate, so. No, I'm fine with this, and I don't know if we have to wordsmith it any more than you've already recommended, because as soon as the school year is over, the volume's going to drop anyhow, naturally. And that's not when the violations are really going to be there. So if the neighbors are supportive of this, I'm fine.
Thank you. Member Bennett?
Thank you. The neighbors up there on Preston Street have been suffering, if you will, with issues with the school for many years, many different issues. And if this helps them and they're in agreement, I'm fine with it. And I prefer the language with the date specific. That's it.
Thank you. Member Bean?
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, this is good stuff for the neighbors. I do think you should make it specific on the dates, just so it's not whatever. Nobody can be, confused in any way. Hopefully this will make a big difference, and I know there's a whole bunch of parking that has been adjusted up there too for all that stuff, so that's good. Hopefully all this will add up to more smooth neighborhood for everybody up there. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. This is not a public hearing, but we did put on the agenda that public comments will be welcome. Anybody in the audience who has a comment, questions? Yes, if you want to go to the microphone and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Monks. I'm the facility director at Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical School. Wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. On behalf of Essex North Shore Agricultural and Technical School, I am here in strong support of the proposed do not enter restrictions on Preston Street at Hazen Street from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Essex Tech recognizes the concern that have been raised by the residents regarding the volume and the speed of the westbound cut-through traffic on Preston Street during the morning arrival period. We understand that Preston Street is a residential neighborhood and that the increased traffic associated with the school arrival has created significant concerns from the families and residents who live here. The proposed restriction represents a reasonable and targetable measure to address the issue during a time when traffic is most concentrated. It would help discourage vehicles from using Preston Street as a shortcut while having minimal impact on those who generally need access to the neighborhood. Most importantly, we believe this measure will improve safety and help foster stronger relationships between Essex Tech and the surrounding community. Our school values being a responsible neighbor, and we appreciate the residents and the town officials who have worked diligently to bring forward a practical solution in a long-term standing concerns. We also appreciate the approach that has been precedent with the town and the town of Danvers and has been considered through the appropriate traffic review process. We support giving the proposed restriction an opportunity to demonstrate its effectiveness and believe that reducing the unnecessary cut-through of traffic during the morning arrival period will benefit both Preston Street residents and the Essex Tech community. Thank you for your consideration of this matter and for your continued efforts to address the safety and quality of life of the Danvers residents. Essex Tech is pleased to support this proposed weekday morning restrictions on Preston Street. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any? Yes?
Hi, I'm Barbara Santarella. Some of you might remember me, been up here before. I've lived on Preston Street for 39 years. It's a great street. My kids used to play at the park across the street. My grandchildren play there now when they visit. I sent the first email about the speeding cut-through traffic to the Danvers Police Department on November 2nd, 2021. I've sent hundreds of emails to various town officials and residents since then. Lieutenant Sullivan has visited my house twice. The traffic report that Aaron cited confirmed what residents already knew. There's a significant increase in traffic during school hours, and that traffic travels faster. Unfortunately, the speed limit on Preston Street is 30 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour. Have any of you ever driven down that street? And most cars don't meet the threshold for a citation, for a speeding citation. So it was considered at the time a nuisance and not a safety threat. So no action, but I continued. I tried to get the speed limit lowered, send in emails, make it a safety zone, a school bus, speed bumps, all this. Nothing worked. So eventually, I shut my blinds. I turned brown noise on my speakers really loud for half an hour every morning while that traffic went by, and I ate my breakfast and said, I'm just going to have to live with this. Well, that changed this spring when I noticed a sign in front of 24 Preston Street that said, slow, children playing. 24 Preston is a multifamily adjacent to the JV baseball field. I put a letter in each of those 4 mailboxes. The next day, one of those residents knocked on my door. He told me, his name is Sean, he has twin boys who are autistic, 11 years old, and they have very little situational awareness. And every morning, he has to get those kids safely from his house to his car during that rush. Another resident of 24 Preston, Adam, sent me 2 videos. The first one was one of Sean's kids splashing in a puddle like this, inches from the street. During that 20-second video, 3 cars went by. The second video was of a speeding driver who smashed into a traffic cone that was just a couple feet in front of that puddle. That video was taken 10 minutes after the first one. So I might have been able to live with this problem ensconced in my kitchen, but I don't think these kids could have. So I reached back out again to neighbors, to town officials, and this time it finally got in front of the Transportation Commission. And I want to thank Mike Bean, who's the DTAC liaison, because I think Mike had a lot to do with getting in front of the commission. And they made the recommendation, and I just want to say that Holly Perez is here tonight with her 2 boys, and if this affects, and you guys have been great tonight, you've been so good. If it affects anyone, it affects them because right now, their bus stops right at their driveway. And with this proposal, they're going to have to go up to the corner because the bus won't be able to get down Preston Street because that also comes during this influx of traffic. So nobody's going to be more inconvenienced than Holly and her kids. And she feels strongly enough, as her husband, that this is necessary. So I just want to reiterate that tonight, please pass the common sense, low-cost solution to this safety problem that's been plaguing us for 5 years. Do what the DTAC recommends. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And I couldn't be any happier. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Any other comments from the audience? Yes?
Hi, my name's Ed Fallon. I live at 14 Hazen Avenue. As an aside, I'm going to say, maybe with slight exaggeration, the cars traveling up Hazen Ave are going twice as fast as the cars on Preston because they've just sat in traffic on 62. As soon as they turn right on Hazen, they've been freed from prison. It's a wide street with a hill. Challenge, right? So they go very, very fast on Hazen Ave. There's a new stop sign at the end of Hazen at Preston. Might as well take it down. They want to see how fast they can make that corner. I want to thank Barbara for all that she's done over the past years. Just tremendous work. I just have one question. Is there any thought of any kind of warning on 62 at the base of Hazen Ave? Because if there isn't, until the people are trained, but then some will never be trained, they're going to come up Hazen, can't make a left turn. Now we've got cars making a U-turn at the end of Preston or going up to the condos, who knows? So I think something has to be, some kind of warning or notice on 62 just before the right turn onto Hazen is also necessary.
Okay. That's a very good point. Aaron, can you speak to that?
Yes. Well, the answer is yes. Yes, we will have advanced warning signage so that they don't make the turn onto Hazen only to find they can't take the left onto Preston. So we envision that, and we'll take care of that as well.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
Mr. Chair.
Here none. Okay, coming back to the board, yes?
Am I able to ask Ryan a question? Ryan from Essex Tech.
Regarding
this topic.
Regarding
Yes.
The signage?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Ryan, can I ask you a question? Yes. Do you know, or if you do know, can you tell us what you might be doing to tell staff and students about the change?
Yes, so it will be...
If you want to just go to the mic, please.
Yeah, so we're going to try to use the student handbook, which is something signed off by every parent, every student, and just to get that message out there as easy as possible. We also have multiple avenues through email, weekly updates, newsletters, so we will absolutely help get this out to all of our community members of the tech.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
Anything
thank you.
else?
No,
Perfect.
that's good.
Thank you very much. Coming back to the board, any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the report from Director Aaron Henry regarding Preston Street as related to traffic rules and order, with the stipulation that it states August 15th to June 30th.
Second the motion?
Oh, okay, the motion has been, any further discussions? Just a quick question for Aaron. When will this start? I think school starts soon, right? How fast can we get these signs up?
We've spoken, obviously, DTAC is well represented with members from DPW. We're ready to go. We need to publish the change in the paper, and hopefully the signs go up before the 24th. And we're trying to do this as fast as possible.
Okay, and how when you publish it, how long do you have to wait?
Don't have, it's one of the older MGLs, and all we have to do is provide notice to the public in a paper that we have amended the rules. We have that ready to go, so that'll go out shortly to the Salem News, most likely, because they publish every day. So it'll happen very quickly after here.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion that has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Okay, 4-0.
Thank you.
I just want to thank Barbara, Holly, and all the residents for this. And I want to thank Aaron and the Traffic Advisory Commission. Thanks, Member Bean. Because I know this change will inconvenience some. Holly is a clear example. My wife takes that route every morning, but I'm sure she goes there 5 days a week. But I'm sure she got the postcard, and she got the postcard. And she was like, oh, no. But she's in support of it. I think a little bit of inconvenience for the public good is what our community is all about. And I could not be more thankful to you. This is what good governance looks like. We listen, we work together to find the best solutions for the community. And I could not be more appreciative. So thank you. Thank you. Madam
Bye,
Clerk,
boys.
we're gonna...
A public hearing will be held under Chapter 138 of the General Laws on the application of Packaging Center, Inc., doing business as Stop and Shop at 301 Newbury Street. Michael Price, manager, for a change of manager at that location.
Madam Town Manager was here to speak to that.
This is the clerk.
Oh,
Hi.
it's you? Okay.
I provided you with the pertinent documents, and the paperwork is in order.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael is here. He's going to
Sure.
introduce
You
himself.
want to just go to
Yep.
the microphone and introduce yourself, please?
Okay, good. Good evening, and thank you for having me. My name is Michael Price. I am the newly appointed store director to the Danvers Stop and Shop location at 301 Newbury Street. I will be named the name associated with the liquor license for this location. Some background about myself: I have worked for Stop and Shop for 16 years. I've been in a management role since 2019. I was recently promoted to store director in January 2025 in the Gloucester location. Funny that Gloucester's been mentioned multiple times tonight. Although this is my first time as store director with the beer and wine license under my name, it is not my first time in a retail location selling beer and wine. I was in the same store in 2021 as an assistant, so I am not new to the process or the importance of compliance that comes with selling beer and wine and being the name responsible on the license. Currently, myself, I reside in Rockport, Mass. with my wife, son, and soon to be expecting a girl in early September. So I look forward to being part of this community through my position at Stop and Shop for the foreseeable future. My email and contacts are on the documents if you guys need to reach out for me for anything, and I welcome any questions the board may have at this time. So.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on your
Thank you.
The new one. Board members, any questions, comments? Member Bennett.
Michael, how many hours a week are you generally on site?
Typically, I do 40 hours a week, so I'm there 5 days a week, guaranteed. So, and most of the time, I'm there Sunday also, is the 6th day. So,
Is there someone else whose name is on the license in the event you're not there?
yes, I believe I have 2 assistants that are there, and they're both tip certified also.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Yep.
He did
That's it?
provide an alternate manager form.
You did,
Yep,
good, thank
he
you.
updated that as well.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Member Bean.
Did you say you came from Gloucester?
Yeah, I did. I live up in
Walpole.
Rockport, up on Cape Ann, so.
It's a
Yeah,
theme.
that's why Gloucester kept coming up tonight. I'm like, wow.
It's a theme tonight.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the promotion and on the new baby.
Thank you.
No, everything looks great. I'm
Okay,
happy
awesome.
for you. Yeah. Thank you.
Member Trask.
I know Member Bennett asked the questions I did. You did say, the clerk did say she included the local license, the alternate manager form, but it wasn't in the packet
Oh,
we
I'm
got.
sorry, I have it here. Would you like to see
No,
it?
no, as long as, that's the standard question, how many hours, and making sure that there's someone responsible when you're not there
Yes.
to handle. And I will say that I am impressed every time I go into Stop and Shop. They card me, they card everybody. You can't get through the registers
They have a
without.
very good process there.
Yeah, they do have a very
scan
good
all
process.
IDs and, yeah.
Yep, so I'm fine with all of this. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Any member of the public has a questions, comments? Hear none.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Coming back to the board, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the application as presented.
Second.
Any further discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
A public hearing will be held on a request to occupy the public way in front of 44 Maple Street, Michael Leary of Classic Signs, to hang a sign for Winchester Savings Bank.
Who's here to speak to that? Sure.
Good evening. Michael Leary with Classic Signs for Winchester Savings Bank. Tonight we're seeking permission to install a projecting sign over the sidewalk at 44 Maple Street. This will help with visibility coming east on Maple, as it has the slightest curve along that section. The Saltwater Grill building that stands next to it is a little forward of Maple and slightly blocks the facade of the building. Along with that, the rear entrance that is being stated on there has 4 parking spaces in the lot reserved for Winchester Bank, along with Cherry Street on street parking, giving patrons more opportunities to park and use the rear entrance of their building. Installing signs in downtown areas like this one in Danvers is not new to us. We have been in business for over 37 years and are committed to safety and quality work. The install crew would create a safe workspace for pedestrians while installing this sign into the facade of the building. On-site time for this work typically is less than an hour. The sign is approximately 6 square feet hanging from a steel bracket with solar lights above. The sign itself is double-sided and made from aluminum with flat-style vinyl graphics. We have approval from the planning board, and you will see in the packet, we have necessary insurance along with bank carrying a bond for the sign over a public way. Thank you, and I welcome any questions you have for me.
Thank you very much. Board members, questions, comments? Member Bean?
No, I think everything looks like it's as it should be. No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Trask?
Couple of just operational questions. When you block the public way, will you have a boom truck? Will you have scaffolding? What is your intent?
It's pretty low. If we do use the boom truck, it would be high enough not to impede anybody going by. We have extra crew members there. It's only one person that really needs to do the work on site. The other person would be dealing with safety, making sure pedestrians have a way through.
And do you have a window that you might want this work to be done in? And the reason we ask is we're just trying to put a time frame around there. You can be as wide as you need, but I'd like to get some sort of window.
I don't have one that I could give you tonight.
Okay. Are you anticipating September, October, November?
Usually somewhere in the 8-week period is about the timeline to complete something like this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Member Bennett?
Thank you. I look at this a little differently. Table 37.2A.C, sign areas. The maximum allowed for each business unit is 20 square feet. That's a rule that we should abide by. He's coming and proposing an additional 5.9 square feet, getting into 24.8, more than 20% over the maximum allowed. I think this sets a bad precedent to allow that excessive amount of sign space. They have a sign that's 18.9 square feet on the front of the building. The blade projecting sign of 5.9 is, in my mind, unnecessary, as it exceeds the maximum of 20 square feet. And this board, if you allow that, you'll set a precedent for the future. He did say that the sign at Seafood Grill kind of juts out and blocks them a little bit. So who's this sign going to block? The next person is going to say, well, I need a bigger sign because Winchester Bank sign is blocking me. Do we have too many signs downtown? I don't know. I don't think we have a rule on that. But we do have a rule on a maximum square feet of 20 square feet. And we should be more conscious of that.
Okay. All set?
For the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do see the point of Member Bennett, but I just want to remind us that what's before us tonight is, do we want them to occupy the public way? The size of the signs, that's not within our jurisdiction. I believe that's, the planning board already approved that size, and that's their role. So I think our discussion should focus on, are we allowing them to occupy the public way above ground, obviously, instead of how big the sign is. If there are issues with the size of the sign, that is not what's up for discussion tonight.
Well, then when do you discuss it?
That's at the planning board. That's where that's discussed. We can't.
Where does it say we have to adhere to everything the planning board says?
We don't have to, but we can be talking about the size of the sign because that is the jurisdiction of the planning board.
Oh, we're talking about table 37.
No, and I would disagree. We're talking about the use of the right-of-the-way and protecting the public for that use. I hear your concern. I don't know that verse and chapter off the top, but this sign
Oh, it's
itself...
right here in front of us, Gardner.
Well, it's, okay. But that particular sign itself on its own is not exceeding the size. You're adding it to the other signage that's there. And it's 3 by 10 by 1 6.5. It's not onerous. It's certainly smaller than I call it the suburban sign, because that's when I grew up. That's what it was. But this is if the concern is, they went to the right boards. They went to the planning board. They went to ZBA if they needed to. They went to whatever boards they had to go before that addresses those tables and adherence to those planning board tables and zoning boards. We're here only for, should they be able to use the public way? I hear your point, and if you want to impress that point, or keep pressing on that point, I think your argument is with the planning board, not with the applicant.
The applicants here. I mean, if the sign was reduced in size and it didn't exceed the 20% of the total, I might be a little more amenable.
Again, we empower committees, volunteer committees, to use their judgment in their expertise. And if we think that they're not doing that well, we can bring that up as part of the selectmen talking to the committees. I think it's unfair for the applicant to have gone through all of the hoops, and we're now imposing sanctions or enforcing rules that are not what's being asked from us tonight.
The rules are on the book, and we should be enforcing the rules. That's our responsibility.
Your arguments with the planning board, not with the applicant.
Yeah, and I agree with Member Trask because they did follow the rules. They went through the proper channel, and we got a letter from that board stating that they are okay with this size. So what's before us tonight is, are we allowing them to occupy the street above, whatever that's called? And I think if we don't like the planning board decision, that should have been handled at the planning board. Yeah. So, Member Bean, did you want to say something?
No, everybody's making good, valid points, but I think, the window for that has come and gone, so I think that we should.
But it ends up with us. We're the final judgment.
The sign's only 18 inches tall. It's not a big sign.
No, the total is 24.8 square feet. It exceeds the maximum by 4.8 square feet that's allowed on a business. And we grant this, then everybody downtown can ask for 25 square feet.
I mean, if a different
This
applicant,
is 310 by 1.16, 1.5. So let's say it's 4. 4 by 2 is 8 square feet.
They've got a sign already at 18.9 in the front of the building. And they're allowed 20. So they're allowed another 1.1.
Is the 20 the sum of all?
Sum of all. And the sign area is maximum of 20 square feet. Period. That's it.
Again, I think this discussion is taking us off what we're supposed to be doing, because maybe the previous sign that was there was farther in from a
There was no
different law.
previous sign.
Well, there's a sign there now that's added to this sign. So
The sign there is on the front of the building.
That's correct.
And that was allowed by right.
That's right, and that may have been grandfathered in a way or another. I don't know.
No,
So
the maximum is 20, and they're allowed to put up by right, up to 20 square feet.
But it's not a projecting, the one that's there now is not a projecting sign. And this says right here, it's the blade and projecting signs.
Right, it's an additional, but it's still attached to the building.
It's not projecting over the public way.
It still exceeds the 20 square feet.
But the 20 square feet is for projecting signs.
No.
Okay, let me
not.
jump in here for a second. The question before us is, are we allowing the sign to occupy the street above? That is the question, not the size of the sign.
So we can keep the everything on track.
Yes.
I move we accept the application to allow.
Before you move, I think this is a public hearing, so.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, before you make a motion, I will ask if there's anyone, yes, if you want to just go to the microphone.
Bill Bradstreet, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 1. One comment was made about opening the floodgates, and it's a slippery slope that when you start, you might not be able to stop that slippery slope. The other thing that my memory says to me, some years ago, a former town manager said the boards, all of them, were supposed to work together, not pit one against the other. I don't see that happening with this discussion tonight. I think there's a little failure there, that he made the assumption that you all work together. Talk about this. Don't leave it to the last minute like tonight, and then have a disappointment among the arguments. So please, if you do or don't, make a decision tonight. Please tell me you're working on working together. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I respectfully disagree, Bill, not to respond to. I think we are working together, and that's the whole point. The planning board had a whole discussion on this and sent us some information to inform us of their decision. That is what working together looks like, because they are the expert. I don't know anything about science. I don't know anything about the sizes. They are the expert in that arena, and they've made their recommendation based on their expertise to this board. That's what working together looks like to me. So we're working together.
And what the planning board is sending us, the following signage waiver. They understand. They understand that this may not comport exactly to the tables. They're saying they're waiving. If you're going to say now that the select board is going to stop your waivers, that's a different discussion. But it's like a ZBA. If the ZBA finds a ruling and gives you a ruling and then comes before the select board for some reason, they've given a waiver. In this case, the planning board grants the following signage waiver. They understand the distinction.
And we, in the past, have sent things back to planning board, and we have the right to do
If that
that.
ends up being the vote of the board,
We have the right to send it back to planning board. I don't know what transpired other than word of mouth because the minutes aren't published.
I mean, I would still take the written recommendation of the planning board into account. And yes, we might be setting precedent. If everybody wants to go to the planning board and go through the process and get a waiver or get things approved, we will take it on a case-by-case basis.
Well, I'd be in favor of sending back to planning board.
so to keep this on track properly, I first move that we close the public hearing.
I need a second.
A second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
And then I'm going to make a motion that we accept the application to occupy the public way in front of 44 Maple Street by Michael Leary Classic Signs, as described.
Second it.
I need a second. Any further discussions?
I think if you want to cooperate with the planning board and have a discussion, we should send it back to them for them to review and then bring it forward again. I think that would be appropriate and would be working with the planning board, give them a chance to review it, hear our arguments, make a decision. Again, if the total was cut back somehow, and it's not exceeding 20%, I would be a little more understanding. But I feel that in excess of 20% over what's dictated by our rules.
This is a 7-square-foot sign. You couldn't cut it any smaller and still have it to be
What,
effective.
no, the blade sign could be reduced.
So now you're asking for extra,
I'm saying-
to change a sign that's already installed, up and approved.
It's not, that sign, is the blade sign up on the wall?
Not the blade side coming out, not the.
That's what I'm talking about.
That one is less than 8 square feet.
Right, but if that was reduced in size, then perhaps we wouldn't be exceeding the 20% of the 20 max. The 20 max, it combines any and all signage that goes on the building. You can have 6 signs of 3 square feet and be within the regulations.
You would have to, in order to get 20 square feet, there's only 1.9 square feet available. You couldn't get that sign out there smaller.
You could. Ask the sign maker.
I'm still-
But maybe he could tell us how he could reduce it.
I think we're debating the wrong thing. The motion is about the use of the public way. I'm willing to allow them to use the public way, is my motion. And I would like to proceed with that. And then if we need to have a discussion with the planning board, you could not make the sign any smaller to be 1.1 square feet.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying reduce it to make so it's less than 20% in excess.
So the sign in the glass inside the bank right now?
The blade sign, reduce shorten that this way somehow so that it gets,
The one inside the bank was closed?
no, the one that's on the wall, you're not going to move that. That's 18.9. That's already up there. You can see that in the picture. It's the blade sign that adds the amount that goes in excess of 20% of the 20 square feet allowed.
Again, I think
That's cut down somehow, then it doesn't exceed 20%. That's a little more palatable.
And now we're talking about literally inches.
And not only
That's what-
inches,
yeah.
we might be going from 20% to 10% or 5%. I think, again, this is outside of the scope of what we are being asked to do tonight.
It's not outside our scope of our authority. What you're being asked is true, but it's it is within our scope. We don't sit here with blinders on.
We have a motion that has been seconded to allow the use of, can you repeat that, Member Trask?
The motion was to allow the use of the public way in front of 44 Maple Street, Michael Leary Classic Signs.
Okay. Madam Clerk, you have that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
No?
That's
3-1.
3-1. Good luck. Madam Clerk?
town manager will report to the board on various items of interest.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and through you, Mr. Chair. So just a few quick updates. We've had an incredibly busy summer, so I want to just update some folks on some of the things going on around town. We did just recently have a transportation advisory from MassDOT. They will be installing wrong-way driver countermeasure installations on Route 128 northbound and southbound between Peabody and Gloucester. My understanding is the first one was installed already at Route 35 on 128. The daytime work will begin Tuesday, August 18th, and will continue until further notice, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I just personally want to applaud this work. I think many people know about the tragic accident that occurred in Gloucester, and since then, we've had, I think, 2 or 3 here, as well as the state troopers. So very pleased to hear that MassDOT is installing those here in the Danvers area, in the North Shore area. You've all seen, I'm sure, the road work going on around town right now, and I want to say thank you to the residents for their patience as we move through the downtown paving. I think the milling should be tomorrow. They will be milling tonight. If they don't get through with that, there would be one more night of milling, but we should be just about there on the milling process. We will be, there is a gap between when the milling is finished and when the paving comes in, so we will be living with these milled streets for a little while. So I just ask for patience as we do so. I know one of the first areas that will get paved is the Riverside School parking lot. That will be paved before school starts. And then I think most people know most of this work is Center Street, Holton Street, Elm Street, High Street, and Maple Street. And there was, when I first started, we had a resident who came often to talk about Holton Street. So hopefully this will resolve some of those issues on Holton. If you have questions or concerns, you can contact the town manager's office or the DPW. I want to say thank you to Kelly Reyes-Texera and the veterans, the team in the Veterans Department, and our DECA students. I was not here for the Purple Heart Monument dedication and ceremony, but I hear it was quite beautiful, and we're thrilled to have that addition in front of Town Hall. A couple fun things coming up with the police. The Police Dare annual golf tournament is September 14th. You can register online for that. I also want to thank the Danvers Police and the Gloucester Police and BJ's Wholesale. They did a fun, there's a theme here tonight. The police did a fun ice cream truck day on the day of the Parks Parade, and they went to all of the rec programs. I think originally Lynn had said that they would donate or let Danvers use their truck that can carry ice cream. There was a problem with that truck, so Gloucester pitched in. And it looks like it was a great time. And also on the police, there is a police officer civil service exam coming up. So if there are people out there who want to serve the town of Danvers on our police force, you can apply by August 31st, and the civil service testing begins on October 2nd. And then just a few more shout outs for great work going on this summer. The Recreation Department has done an incredible job with the Parks Parade, all of their programming, the summer concert series. Thank all the residents for coming out. The Rec Department keeps incredibly busy over the summer with programs and offerings. And coming up on September 12th is Truck Day at Endicott Park. I can't wait to see it. My understanding is this is the best one in the area. So please join us on September 12th at Endicott Park.
All set. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, sorry, one more thing? Sorry.
Sure.
I should probably talk about my things. So I think I had mentioned before, we are, in the spirit of some of the feedback we got around the town meeting and town manager acts about more engagement with the town meeting members, I have been trying to reach out and get as much information to them as possible. And in September, we will be doing precinct meetings. 2 precincts at a time together. So the town meeting members should have all received an email from me with a save the date on those precinct meetings. I hope people will come and join us to talk a little bit more in depth about the area and the neighborhoods. And there will also be an educational opportunity for town meeting members related to the green communities and the stretch code. That's also coming up in September. And we are currently working on planning a financial summit coming up in October. So in the spirit of providing as much information as possible to our town meeting members and the residents, we are putting out a lot of community engagement opportunities. So we really hope that people will come and talk with us, and we can learn a little something from all of you. So thank you.
Jill, do you have dates for those?
I do.
One of them, we just found out, runs up against the HRIC event.
1 second. Precinct meeting planning. Right now, we have precincts 7 and 8 at Highland Elementary on Thursday, September 24th. Precincts 3 and 5 at Riverside Elementary, Thursday, October 1st. Precincts 4 and 6, Thursday, October 8th at Smith Elementary. Precincts 1 and 2, Thursday, October 15th at Great Oak Elementary.
And the green communities?
The Green Communities and Stretch Code Workshop is Thursday, September 17th, 6 to 8 at the Senior Center.
And the financial summit?
I don't have a date for that yet, but that'll come in October, early October.
Okay, thanks.
All set?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, I think it's you next.
The town clerk will provide an update on the September 1st, 2026 state primary. I just want to take the opportunity to go over again that Tuesday, September 1st, is the state primary election that'll be at Danvers High School from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's a primary election, so you would receive the ballot for your designated party, and unenrolled voters would need to select a party ballot. Voters are encouraged to check their voter status as well as their party designation, and can do so on mass.gov, and then you'd search election division. And you can also change your party online. The last day to register to vote, which would include changing your party, which would be Saturday, August 22nd, which is this Saturday, which also coincides with the first day of early voting, which is, will start in this room on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then continue through next week in this room during normal business hours. And then the other point of interest would be that our office has mailed out over 3,100 vote-by-mail ballots, and of those 3,100, so far, a little over 1,400 have come back from voters.
Wow.
So we're moving ballots in and out, and that will continue through Election Day.
Is the 3,100 more than normal?
The 3,100 is, when I compare back to, thanks for asking that question, Mike. When I go back and compare to what we had at the last comparable election, which would have been in September of, 4 years ago would be September of '22, we mailed out 3,187. And we received back 1940. So we are, right around the same. But it's hard to say because elections vary from election to election because the ballots are different, depending on who's on the ballot and what the interest is. But generally speaking, half of what we mail out comes back. So half of those, don't come back.
Through you, Mr. Chair, can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
I'm staunchly unenrolled, like being unenrolled.
Sure.
I will have to choose a party affiliation when I get a ballot.
Yep.
But that doesn't change my enrollment status,
No,
does it?
that has not been the case for some time. So
Okay,
you
I
would
just want to make
remain-
sure.
You're unenrolled. I did see a commercial from the Secretary of State who is now referring to unenrolled back to independent.
Yay.
So
I curse Ross Perot for stealing that term.
Right, so it's unenrolled or independent party, but you would remain independent.
Independent,
So you
fine.
get to pick a party for that ballot. Samples are in the hallway, you can see samples online, and you can kind of pick which one you want.
Thank you.
The other thing about ballots that's different this year, and I think I mentioned this at the last meeting that we talked about elections, is that the colors of the ballots have changed. So the Republican ballot is now pink, red, orange, and the Democratic ballot is now blue. So you want to make sure you're not picking, voters come to the election and they'll say, I want the blue ballot. Well, you should know which ballot it is. So once you pick a ballot, you can't change your mind. Any other questions?
Yeah, can you speak a little bit of if someone received that card about someone didn't fill out the census?
So if you did not return your 2026 census, you got a card in the mail and you have been marked as inactive, which would mean you need to return that card ASAP. Or when you get to the polls and you're marked as inactive, you would need to show something that has your name and your address on it to confirm, and then you just have to sign a declaration.
Okay. And you can return that card, or you can come
You
to
can
the
return
clerk's
that
office.
card, yeah, you can return the card or pop into the clerk's office with that.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Here none. Next.
Oh, let me get back to the agenda, sorry.
Yes, please.
Correspondence, Select Board new business, previous new public business, updates, and Select Board closing comments. Let me just note, there are no consent calendar items, so we don't have that item to vote tonight.
Thank you. I'll finish with you, Member Bennett, but I'll have you start.
Thank you. Under new business, I'd like the community to know that the state provides a lot of information on climate change, especially the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. And I downloaded a article about the top impacts on the North-South Shore regions. The reason they combine North and South Shore regions is the amount of coastline that we share that is will be flooded out. But some of the urgent impacts on the governance sector, there will be increased needs for statewide health services, food security support, emergency response as a result of climate change. Under the economy sector, the reduction in the availability of affordable priced housing, availability, reduced ability to work due to high heat days and commute delays. And these, I'm just highlighting what these paragraphs state. Nearly 40 miles of beaches, which mostly are closed this year due to bacteria. 24,000 acres of saltwater marsh. North and South Shore region is defined by its marine and coastal natural resources, impacts to the marine ecosystems from increased temperatures, ocean, and degradation of nearby North Shore water quality are projected of an extreme magnitude of consequence. The human sector, service delays, evacuation disruptions, food safety, air quality degradation. We're looking into the future. The future doesn't look good. We really need to be stepping up our efforts to cut down greenhouse gas emissions. The Green Code is going to be something that will be helpful. If anybody wants to get involved with energy and environmental affairs, I'm happy to have a conversation. And I think it's very important that we do so. The town has stepped up, and they have 6 folks that are champions that are working on some of these things. But they can't do it alone. We need the town of Danvers to step up. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Trask?
Thank you. I have no new business. I have received some correspondence. I just want to make sure people understand. We've gotten them. Some of you may have received them too. One subject is about rodent traps, exterior rodent traps, that I know the town manager is aware of and will work with the health department on. The person is asking us to consider changing our bylaws to match other town bylaws about the location or the omission of those exterior rodent boxes. You've seen them usually in commercial buildings or apartments, and their concern is that other unintended consequences could happen. We also several of us got emails about dilapidated building across the street at the food pantry / credit union. They'd like that it's on a side that's not openly visible to the public, but it is to the neighbors. And so I believe the town manager is also aware of that. It's been a quiet summer. I have attended a lot of the events that have been happening, and I'm not sure if the concert series has since ended, but has it?
I believe so.
Okay. I was at one last week or the week before, a couple of them. Quite enjoyable and great for the community. So other than that, thank you.
Thank you. Member Bean?
I just want to say I support the town manager's precinct meetings. I hope people will come to those. Can't complain if you don't participate. And I hope everybody will get out on the 1st and to your voting thing. And I hope everybody's having a good summer. Thank you.
Thank you. I also did attend a few summer concerts. They were actually fun. Great. A lot of things happening in town. I attended my first Salem Village Drum Circle, put together by the rec department. And it's a bunch of people from the North Shore just getting together at Endicott Park and jamming some drums. I had a djembe that I had not used forever. So it was my first time using it, and it was fun. So look out for that in the rec department and signed up. I attended a veteran social at the senior center last Thursday. I couldn't thank Kelly enough and her team. I mean, what Dick Moody and what they do for our veterans is incredible. And at the social, as I said last week, it's almost like you're getting a history lesson from all these veterans. One thing that I took away was, and I'll give this as a test to all of you, who was the first person to have motion sickness in space? I don't know. If you don't know, you can check with a veteran. They'll tell you the first person and what year was it.
Was it the first monkey that went up?
No, the first person to have motion sickness in space. So they have these trivia questions that are coming up during their social gathering, and it was really fun. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Bauer, Angelica Medina, our own Rodney and Philip for what they did to get us, to help us appoint a new town accountant. They did an amazing job, and I also want to extend my thanks and gratitude to Member Bennett for agreeing to serve on the subcommittee with me and for his guidance and advice. So really appreciate. Thank you. On that, I'll pass it on to Member Bennett to give us some closing comments.
Thank you. Please, when you see a vet, thank the vet for their service, him or her, and also think about our active servicemen and women during the week. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, Danvers.